I'm joined in studio by Dick Torrey from Torrey Enterprises. Thanks so much for coming back, Dick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me back.
And, you know, one of the reasons I love having you on the Plymouth Show is that you always bring a lot of friends.
I do. It was an interesting ride over here today.
Very loud, I would imagine, yeah.
They're all well behaved.
They're amazingly quiet and well behaved, yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we get into that, for people that haven't seen your prior interview, can you give us an overview of what Torrey Enterprises does?
Sure. We're a company that I started back in 2014. We teach CPR programs, first aid programs for pretty much any organization or any profession that needs it. You know, from new mothers to corporate trainings to nursing homes, doctor's offices, dentist offices, anybody
health
that
clubs.
Needs, health
I know
clubs.
you had mentioned
correct,
that to me before. Yeah. So, yeah, it might even be easier for you to explain who doesn't get touched by who doesn't need the training.
Right. Exactly.
So these guys are here so that we can talk about dog CPR?
Sure.
Or I mean, tell me.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say.
So this was a request that I had from a few people that called me and wanted to know if we did dog CPR. And at the time I said no.
And were these veterinarians?
No, these are just dog owners.
Just people like me, who love their dogs.
And there's so many people. There's over 90 million dog owners in the United States.
Wow.
So, you know, I found some information on how to become an instructor. I went through a program, I became an instructor, and started teaching the course. So it's about a 3.5, 4-hour course, and it teaches things like CPR, choking, first aid. I got a couple of these dogs that have injuries that are all bandaged up.
Oh wait, let's see.
Sure.
So I'm gonna take this guy off of Plymouth Rock. Excuse me, dog. Oh, that's not
now
good.
Now we have another injury.
Okay, so this
would be a typical, soft tissue injury that the dog, ran through something or got hit by a stick, running through the woods or something that's soft tissue. This is kind of a stopgap till we get to the veterinarian.
Okay.
And it also goes through like medical issues like choking and poisonings, which is a common thing for dogs to get into because they get into anything. That type of thing, seizures, diabetes, there's all different type of things that could happen with the dog. But it also talks about disaster management as well, because you have to be ready, if you have to evacuate, quickly, you get everybody else together and you need to get things ready for your dog as well. Food, medications, papers, paperwork, and things like that, just to be able to bring them to a shelter with you, if you have to evacuate.
Wow. Okay. So this poor.
That's Casper.
Casper is at our feet, and Casper's not looking very good.
No, he's not. This is actually a CPR mannequin for dogs, and we can do chest compressions on there. We can do a mouth to snout resuscitation if we needed to, and this is just a training device that we can use to actually have people, get on the floor and actually do compressions and learn how to do actually CPR. These other ones, I probably have 10 or 12 different breeds of dogs, and we can do choking on this one. We can also do mostly bandaging, first aid, splinting, for fractures and things like that.
Well, I have been through with a prior dog, prior to my Lily before Redford. I went through having the dog have a seizure and just not having a clue what to do, and it's really scary.
It is. It's scary, with people as well, and then it's the same thing with dogs. You just have to, some of the dogs have to take medication, and it's just really the same as an adult or a human. Is just make sure they don't hurt themselves when they're having the seizure, and kind of let the seizure go. Don't hold them down because they could get hurt. And just let the seizure go, and then afterwards, they have to go to the vet.
So I wonder, would an employer bring this kind of a program to their employees as kind of a?
They may as a perk or something like that to do that. This is also geared toward like doggy daycare type of environments.
Sure, yeah.
They can offer to their veterinarians, their kennels. And offer it to their clients. When they come and house their dog, there's information. I'm trying to do some of the local establishments and try to get some information out to the public and have them take courses that we have coming up.
Wow. Okay. So, do you know has anyone ever been through one of your classes that has actually had that kind of an emergency with
I did have one that was choking. That actually called me not too long ago. That said they were choking on a small toy, and they actually did the Heimlich maneuver, and we're actually able to clear that obstruction.
And they had been through your class, which is how they could probably do that.
Right.
That's so great. Cool. All right. Well, it's more than just the great visuals, in other words.
True. Very true.
That's wonderful. And this is a first aid, before we get into the humans, this is a pet first aid kit?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than a human's first aid kit. It has some of the same things in it. You can buy them all made up, or you can buy just an empty bag and put some of the things that you would need in there to take with you. And I can show you if you want to grab that for me.
Yeah, let me see. We're tethered with our microphones. Fetch. He's not doing it.
No, he doesn't listen.
Just a second.
Great, thank you. And just some of the things in here that you'd have, bandaging supplies, tweezers, gloves. There's a mask to do the mouth to snout with, and just some.
Okay, I am sorry, but I just can't get over mouth to snout.
Yeah,
I let it go the first time. I'm not sure. You're saying it with a very straight face, which is very professional.
And if you're not comfortable with doing it, you don't have to. But it does help, with doing the ventilation part of that. It's like regular human CPR.
That's amazing. Is this something that you can just get everywhere?
Yeah, I think I got that one on Amazon, I think.
Okay,
It's all built, it's all made.
That's worth having.
You can put, your veterinarian's numbers in there, your paperwork for your dog.
Now,
and their
I have a
licensing.
Chihuahua, so do I get a smaller one than this?
No, it's the same size.
It's the same size. There should be a discount for a Chihuahua.
I don't, Exactly.
That's funny. So, so I know that one of the primary focuses for your company is providing programs for corporations or large organizations. Is that through an employee assistance plan, or is it on the HR side, or what would be who would bring you in from a company? I guess it depends on the size of the company.
One's the size of the company, and the other one's the type of company. There's manufacturing divisions of companies that we come in and just do safety training. It's the CPR, the first aid, that type of thing. We also are going to start getting into like fire extinguisher training, that type of thing. Emergency evacuation plan, that's apparently an up and coming thing now. We're going to start doing those as well.
Gee, that's such a surprise. I wonder why. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
Would the insurance company, the liability insurance company, bring you in, or?
Yeah, there has been some companies that have said, "Hey, we're going to get a break on our insurance if all of these employees are trained." I recently did a restaurant not too far from here that their owner has a heart condition, and her stance was, "I want everybody in this building trained in case something happens." So then we trained all our employees, and now she's 100% covered. and that's, which is good. She's kind of thinking ahead. There's other companies.
And she has to sleep at the restaurant, as does one of the employees. No, just kidding.
Exactly.
But you know what? It really is a smart thing if you think about. We spend so much time at work that if we were to ever suffer any kind of emergency that can happen at any time to anybody, it would be really nice to be surrounded by people that didn't just know how to use the photocopier. But
well, that's it. Because a lot of people will just stand there and not do anything.
They're just frozen.
And then, I wish I could have done something. If this person has a bad outcome, I wish I could have done something, but. They didn't have the training, or they didn't want to go through the training, or whatever the case may be. Even if you don't go through the training, when you call 911, a dispatcher on the other end of the phone can walk you through pretty much anything.
But it helps so much. It's almost like muscle memory.
It is.
If you've been through the training,
correct.
Because I went through training a long time ago to be a lifeguard at age 16. and I still remember some
Right.
of that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't really leave. It's just, it's at the back of
It's
your mind, and it
dormant.
has to come to the front. Exactly.
That's a good way of putting it. And so when someone walks you through,
Right.
you already have that kind of template, if you
Right.
will.
And that's why they recommend refreshers every couple of years. You know, even especially if you don't use it all the time. That's one of
So-
the things they recommend.
So you had mentioned, before I interrupted, and I
okay.
apologize, you had mentioned companies that have to have this kind of training, like first responder
Right, first responder companies.
and those would obviously be your clients.
Right, restaurants. Every restaurant in the state needs to have people trained.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
That's
it's
a
law.
requirement.
It's a law. Yeah, that to get their food license, if they have a seating capacity of over 25 patrons, they need to have
Okay.
somebody that's on
That's
duty all the
pretty
time.
small.
It is, and most places are. You know, even fast food restaurants are. You know, I've done 2 or 3 Dunkin' Donuts in the last month or so that have had that requirement to get their food license, and we go through there and do the training for them as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so, so can you give us the rundown of what kind of, or what might we be surprised has a requirement like that?
As far as different types of different types of businesses, tattoo parlors need CPR training.
Okay.
In case someone
Makes
passes
sense.
out, you know, and during a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like I said, the restaurants, a lot of places do it. You know, nursing homes do it. They, you know, different hospital groups. They
Yeah.
have all different requirements as
Yeah.
well.
But you're finding actually other companies that don't have a requirement are also just bringing it to their
Yeah,
employees.
I've done lawyers' offices in Boston and, you know, corporate places like that, and
That's-
and it's just a lot of different type of clients are coming in now, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. Well, thanks for coming by and bringing all your friends. And
Very welcome.
It's always nice to see you, Dick.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.